Yeah, I'm very, very excited to speak to all of you today. Again, my name is Chris Studer, and I'm one of the founders and the current executive director of the nonprofit organization Get Real, and that's us enjoying ourselves at Pride this year. So I'm extremely excited. I'm here to talk to you guys about activism, and what I see activism as being is really just caring about something, so some cause or some issue or something, and wanting to do something about it, and then actually going out and doing something. Anything. Could be an action big, could be an action small. And in terms of Get Real, we definitely started small. And that's the first thing I'm going to talk to you guys about. Really, all I have to say, especially because I only have 15 minutes, is two things. One thing is about activism and about entrepreneurship and things that I've learned. And the second thing is really about life. It's kind of a life philosophy. And these two things combined have really shaped my life and really had a really profound influence on Get Real and on my work and on activism. So I'm very, very excited to share with you. So the first thing is that huge ideas are derived from small actions day to day. And I really, really believe that. Get Real, when we started, we were literally 4 people. And I'm going to come back to this in a second. But we were 4 students with an idea. It was a small action. And that was very, very important to us. Now, anything that you guys can think of, it's really interesting, hearing Anton speak. And I'm going to rip a little bit from Steve Jobs here, but if you can picture, a big organization or a big nonprofit or charity or company or anything like that, those companies were started, or those nonprofits, those charities were started by people who were no smarter than any of you guys, and I really want you guys to remember that. B, they all started small. They all started with a small couple actions that the founders, the first people to do them, really believed in, and that's exactly the same thing with Get Real. Now, second thing, and this is more to do with life, and a really big life philosophy that I really believe in, is that you do not need anybody's permission to go out and do something that you believe in. And this is huge. This goes beyond activism or entrepreneurship, but just a way of looking at the world. And I'm going to just pause on activism really quickly for a second and pause on Get Real, because I really want to address this. Because when I learned about this was in high school. So I'm going to take you back really quickly. So this is, that's me running for president in grade 12. And this isn't about, permission, to pick your hair out every morning or anything like that. But in my high school, show of hands, has anyone ever been to a high school dance before? Good. Okay, so we're all on the same page. Now, my high school had banned high school dances. Because of the closeness and the touching or whatever they thought was going on at these dances. But that meant that there was this awesome opportunity for someone else to come in and run these independent dances. And that's exactly what my best buddy Calvin and I did. And it was an amazing moment. I mean, we had a ton of fun. It was extremely successful. I realized, that I could do something. But the two things that taught me, the first, that I could actually go out into the world and impact something and really make an imprint and create something myself. But the second one that is almost more important, that has to do with this, you don't need permission, anybody's permission or green light to do something, was that teachers, parents, principals said, no, we don't want you guys to do this. We're not keen on this. Could you guys just not and say you did? Especially, when I became president, the principal said, it's too affiliated with the school. We don't want you to do this. And myself and my friend Calvin, we said, okay, we hear you, but we're going to do it anyway. And that was such a liberating thing that happened in my life. All of a sudden, from going from this space of I'm just going to do things that everyone else says I can, and my parents give the thumbs up, or my teacher gives the green light, to being in this space of I can go out and do something despite people who tell me no and who tell me don't bother. Has anyone ever heard don't bother, or like that idea will never happen? Those are good things to hear. That stuff is fuel. And if you can learn from that and remember those people who say that, that's phenomenal. So I'm going to flash forward really quickly because I really wanted to tell that story because that really influenced me when it became time to start Get Real. I had that confidence. Not crazy extrovert confidence, because I don't really even see myself as that type of guy, but like kind of a quiet confidence that I can go out and do something and accomplish something regardless of people who tell me no. That's a really good thing to have, and that's something that I want all of you guys to leave here having, because you really can. So, flash forward to university. Clearly, I matured a ton. between high school and university, just maturity level, just, you know. But that's me as part of the SOFT program. And what the SOFT program was at my university really quickly was just a peer mentor program. So welcoming new students into the university, first-year students, anything to do with, you know, can't find my class to course selection stuff, a student who's feeling homesick, they have someone to talk to. It was really, really fun and rewarding, and I did it for 3 years. But a big part of the SOFT program, and you can kind of see where this is going, is that we, as SOFT, got a lot of support and encouragement to speak up when we heard things like, that's so gay, fag, no homo, and you know, anything that would make, you know, the environment for our first-year students, you know, feel less like home. And Get Real, what we do is, that's exactly what we're across Canada. We're a series of university and college campus teams. And what we do is we speak to high school and middle school students about unlearning words like fag, that's so gay, exactly like this. So, but you talk, I mean, back then there was no Get Real at all. But you talk small, it doesn't get much smaller than that, right? It doesn't get much more, you know, me talking to another student, that doesn't change, you know, attitudes on a whole campus. That doesn't change equality in Canada or anything like that. That's just one person speaking to another person. But that was a small action that I really, really believed in a lot. And it was a small action that I would see work, you know, because we were just, you know, slightly older peers. And, you know, I would see students' language change in a matter of days. And that was really, really cool, the impact and the influence that an older student could have. So the person who noticed it the most was my friend Arthur. That's him wearing the pink hat. And really, really great guy, very smart, tons of vision. And I'll never forget this. He called me one day. I was in the library, so I was like, hey. And he was like, hey, how's it going? I just ran for a position at university that I didn't get, that I really, really wanted. And he said, hey, you just ran for that position. You didn't get it, so you're not busy now. And I was like, yeah. I was like, what do you want? And he was like, look, he's like, I have an idea. It's called Get Real. Real stands for Reaching Equality at Last. We have all these good experiences speaking to, you know, first-year students about language. And I said, yeah, absolutely. And he said, you know, that model, that peer-to-peer model, why wait? Why not just go into a high school and speak to students in person? And I said, that makes a lot of sense. And he said, do you think any teacher would ever let us speak to their kids? I said, no, probably not. I doubt it. But I thought back to myself in grade 7, grade 8. I went to an all-guys school, I was very homophobic, used to pick on kids and stuff like that. And I thought, you know, I think that program would have made an impact on myself. And not only that, but I see value in those small actions because I've lived that. Because I know that they work. You know, I've been a part of that. I've spoken up. I've talked to students about it. So I say, you know what? It's a long shot, but let's just do it. Let's go ahead and try. What's the worst that can happen, right? And that's that confidence of, you know, not needing anybody's thumbs up or anybody's green light to try and go ahead with something. So we were excited about it. My friend Annie, who's holding the sign on your far right, she came on board, and she was also part of the SOFT program, and her sister designed us a really cool logo. And my friend from BC had a hat company called Vintage, and I said, hey, like, you know, you have these hats, we have this logo, would you make us a line of hats? We could sell them and generate some revenue, and we could, you know, start promoting the club, and, you know, it's a nonprofit, we could have a little brand, and they said, of course. And so we had these hats, and then we had the info session. We literally just promoted it on Facebook, and it was packed. It was like people were sitting on the ground, and we kind of looked at each other like, holy smokes, like, could this be something larger than just these small actions? And my friend Sophie came on board, and Annie and Arthur were graduating that year, so it was down to me and Sophie to run it. And you know, it was magic. And we built our first team. We put out applications, and the amount of people who applied, and the caliber of people who also believed in this was beyond anything we could have expected. It was such a phenomenal group of people that just wanted to be a part of something because we really believed in these small actions, and they did too. And we weren't part of the school, so it was really taking a leap of faith. So before I continue sort of with the growth of Get Real and things like that, just going back to, you know, not needing permission to go out and do something that you believe in, there were students at the university and administration at the university who said, you know, that this will never happen. You know, you guys are stupid for trying to do this. You'll never get into a school. who do you even think you are trying to do this? This is a fad. This will die in like 2 months. And to our face, too. And, in a way, in a little way, that it kind of hurt because we really believed in it. But at the same time, in my head, I thought, yeah, you remind me a lot of teachers who, from back when I was in high school, told me not to run those dances. So we said, yeah, we hear you, but we're going to do it anyway. Just watch. And so we promoted a lot on campus, and we just got the word out there, and we talked to people. And we talked to people about our idea and what we wanted to build. And then at the end of the year, we released a video called To My Grade 7 Self. And that video was just because we weren't speaking in front of any students, we said we could pretend maybe. We could pretend to speak, well, me in grade 7, I was like, didn't grow that much. But, we could just pretend to speak to ourselves in grade 7. And that video really took off, and that got us on national news, on CTV, and on Global. And from there, I was literally recognized in a parking lot by a teacher, and she said, hey, are you that guy from TV? And I said, yeah. Just like if someone asks you, hey, are you in the band? You always say, yes, of course. And I said, yeah. And she said, would you come and speak to our students, our middle school? I showed the video to all my kids, and oh my God. Because that was one of our huge goals that we thought would be so cool if it ever happened. It would be so cool if we actually got to speak to some students. And within a year, we were. We were speaking in schools, all across Ontario, like something that we dreamed could happen from that little small action that we really believed in. And the other thing that was a huge dream was we thought, oh, it would be so cool if someone from another campus saw Get Real, and thought, oh, that'd be so cool to bring this to my campus. About a month later, we get an email from a school called Mount Allison, which is in Sackville, New Brunswick, and which I'd never heard of. And it was my friend. It was my friend now, but this girl Maddie, and she said, "Hey, I saw what you guys did with Get Real at Western. I'd love to bring this to Mount Allison." We said, "Absolutely," because we're all yes people in Get Real. We've dealt with so many no people and so many naysayers and people who will be around your entire life. And we said absolutely. So then we were at Mount Allison. Then in our third year, we were at 4 schools. Now we're all across Canada, and we're getting messages from people in the States and people in the UK saying they want to bring Get Real there. We've had To My Grade 7 Self was reproduced in Australia by a bunch of students over there. Because we created it to be so open, and we really, really believed in those small actions. No matter what anyone else said, we knew that those worked because we'd done them and we'd lived them. So I just want to pause for a second really quickly here, because I was looking at this slide, and that it almost made me tired to look at it myself. And I was saying, as a student, that seems like such a big thing. And and with Anton, it seems like it's such a big kind of unattainable goal in a way, something that's grown so much. So I want to scale it down really, really quickly, because I really believe in small actions, and they don't necessarily have to grow into a huge organization or a big company or anything like that if you really believe in them. So this is an example. Last year I saw a video, really quick, of a homeless man named Ronald Davis in Chicago. And it really, really moved me. I shared it with all my friends. I posted on Facebook, but I really wanted to do something more. I've never been more moved by a video ever. And I thought, I'm not sure what it is I want to do, because I care about this a lot, but I'm not really sure what I want to do, but I want to do something. Then I saw a video of a couple in the States, and what they do is they carry around these winterized packs for homeless people. And they're $20, and they assemble them from dollar stores, and you can go out and assemble it. And it's just some simple things like gloves and a toque and toothbrush and toothpaste and deodorant and canned goods, and just things that might make like freezing cold in Toronto, or a freezing cold day in the winter a little bit less harsh. And I saw it and I thought, bam, that's something that I could go out and do, and I want to do that. So fundraised with my colleagues at work, and I said, hey, I really want to do this. And they said, absolutely, yeah, of course. And Valentine's Day was coming up, so it's February, it was very cold, and we just sold some candy grams in the office, and we raised enough money for 10 packs, just under 10 packs, and we kind of rounded it up to 10. And I went out with my friend, and we bought these packs, and we filled them at the dollar store, and we gave them out around the Eaton Center. And we respectfully say, hey, we put together these packs. This is what they have in them. Would you accept? And the response was phenomenal, and it meant a lot to us. But that doesn't solve homelessness in Toronto. That doesn't address root causes of why people wind up on the street. But that was just something small that we really wanted to do. And we're going to do it again, but we didn't think like, is this scalable or could this grow into something big, like a big organization? But that's okay. It meant something to us, and it was something that we could go out and do. And so much of this kind of stuff and Get Real was because I had that confidence from high school of, I can go out in the world and do something. That's an amazing idea and kind of a scary, drop off, like a leap of faith off the cliff. It's like it's a scary idea, but that confidence that you can go out and impact something, that's what kind of led me to these small things. And with Get Real, it turned into something larger. So that's what I think activism is really just small actions that you really, really believe in that you do. But why I wanted to talk about Get Real and why I wanted to talk about this idea that you don't need anybody's green light or you don't need anybody's thumbs up to go out and do something is because the world needs more people who have that confidence. If you notice something, and you will, if you care about something, you will notice something will come along that you could do. You will notice it. It'll come along and you could reach out and grab it. You don't have to. But when it does, if you start doing it, and you should, because you should have that confidence and that knowledge that you can go out and make an impact. When you start doing that, if you start noticing that it is really working and that it really is having an impact, have that confidence to try and take it to the next level. Just give it a shot. Try and talk to somebody else about it. Try and share it a little bit. Because if you really believe in that small action, odds are someone else will believe in that small action too. And that is what I really, really believe the world needs more of, because I work with young people all the time with Get Real. All the time, day in and day out. And the young generation, the generation younger than myself, has such phenomenal ideas. Like, really, it is inspiring hearing the thinking of younger people today. And if you guys just have the confidence, and I know a lot of you guys do, but everyone in this room should have the confidence that you can go and talk to somebody about something that you believe in and make it happen. That's what I want for you guys. So I only have one slide left. I'm very, very excited for what you guys do. I know I'll be sitting, as a grandpa, and I'll be talking to my grandkids, and they'll say, "Did you ever do anything cool with your life?" And I'll say, this one time, I spoke in the Science Center, and you'll never guess who was sitting in the audience, and I'll say your guys' names. I'll say one of your guys' names, because I really, really believe that you guys are going to go off and do awesome, awesome things. So thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Thank you.